So the Xbox 2025 Summer Showcase has finally arrived, and what a very nicely put together and solid showcase we've just witnessed. We've seen a mixed total of 31 announcements from both Day 1 multi-plat games and a select few Xbox ecosystem exclusives that are most likely considered time first-party exclusives for probably will be about 6 months to 1 full year post those games release. There were new updated trailers to some already known titles, along with some first looks of new titles sprinkled in. 17 brand new titles were showcased, with the majority of them considered Day 1 multi-plat. However, most of them will also be included Day 1 into Game Pass Ultimate. So there's your ultimate cherry on top of what is a very delectably rich ice cream sundae. In my honest, non-fanboy opinion, this was an acceptably transparent way of marketing what is considered multi-platform and what is not during Day 1 releases. Properly labeling what is and what isn't Day 1 multi-plat is a sensible and correct thing to do for your existing and your non-existing customers. Taking full control of the narrative of what's presented as Day 1 multi-plat and what's considered timed exclusive is a good way to kill this ever-growing argument between competing platform communities as a whole. The whole overall theme of this showcase was Microsoft and Xbox's newly expressed messaging of play anywhere at any time. The Xbox ecosystem as a whole has grown and expanded beyond the seeding roots of what is one singular console. It now looks more like growing roots that attempt to branch out and touch what it can and tries to assimilate it until it's considered a substandard Xbox product. I believe they're thinking if their games can run on a future competing console or their cloud system can run on any supporting compatible hardware, Xbox will shoot for the stars towards that platform and slowly guide it towards believing I'm no different. I'm an Xbox too. So after seeing all this being presented in front of us, I believe this is the well done first attempt effort from Team Xbox, with a lot more work to be done as time goes on. I plan to follow this strategy very closely over the coming years, but today isn't about business strategy. It's simply about what was shown. It is about the games. So looking back at this showcase, not all the titles were majorly impactful. Only a select handful actually were. However, watching this show, I felt a select few not only were pretty impactful, but hit that desired target flat out, at least in my opinion, my personal opinion, and I was loving what I was seeing. I'm going to go down that short list in just a moment, but keep in mind the majority of what was shown is considered multi-platform towards at least the PlayStation. The PlayStation for sure had a very strong supporting presence at this show. I only recall one game being confirmed for the Switch 2, which is kind of a bummer for any Nintendo fans tuning into this show. But you can't be disappointed that the majority of what was shown will also be included Day 1 into Game Pass Ultimate. Game Pass truly was the VIP guest of this show, just as always, and it was very apparent this year as well. There's really no better time to be an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriber except for right here, right now. So without further ado, let's go over what was the most impactful titles of this show. Xbox started this showcase with another look at The Outer Worlds 2 from Obsidian. Now I gotta tell you, Obsidian, these guys are insane, and I'll explain why in just a little bit, but they will be producing 3 titles of this year. Surprisingly, 3. I personally was only expecting them to bring out about. Their team must be big enough or more efficient enough to allocate their teams to multiple games all at once. So we got Avowed back in February, and now we're taking another look, and we will be receiving The Outer Worlds 2 this year as well. and that will be later in the year. But I mean, just looking at this game right now, we're seeing the footage of it right now, and it looks pretty cool. It definitely kind of reminds me of a mixture of both Fallout New Vegas mixed with Outer Worlds. Now this environment here kind of does remind me a little bit more of Fallout New Vegas from back in the 360 days. It's post-apocalyptic, just like you would expect from Borderlands, but with a twist of Fallout meets the Outer Worlds. The game does look like it's running at 60 frames per second, so I'm going to say it might support. It looks like it's going to be supporting a performance mode, but yeah, Outer Worlds 2, it debuts. It comes out October 29th of this year. Okay, so next up, we get a first look at the sequel for High On. I love the original High On Life. I understand that game wasn't for everybody, but this game was certainly for me. Its humor and its environments and characters were exactly what I was looking for in a game. And this game looks like it's just taking everything that we love from part one and turning it on its head, and also incorporating different types of traversals. So it looks like this game will be supporting the usage of a skateboard, and you could possibly grind on different surfaces, performing all types of different attacks and abilities with that skateboard. But it definitely looks like it's part of the gameplay in general. The skateboard looks like it might be a strong inclusion into this game's traversal and gameplay. We'll see as time goes on when we see another look at this game. But High On Life 2, this game will be debuting this winter for the Xbox Series consoles, the PC, Xbox Cloud, Steam, Epic Store, and the PlayStation 5. So coming up next, we take a look at in-game footage of what appears to be the next Plague Tales Innocence games called Resonance. This is looking to be a 2026 title, and all we're seeing is in-game cutscene. We're not seeing any of the gameplay, none of the live gameplay is being shown here. From what we can see here, it is incredibly detailed with multiple vistas. We're seeing fire physics along with incredible looking lighting. This looks like a newly established character for this third game. This could be a sequel or this could be a prequel. We're not entirely sure where this game is going, but they're showing some elements of Rome Colosseum fighting in this, along with some stealth elements. So we'll see what this game is all about. So this is Resonance, A Plague's Tale Legacy, coming 2026 for the Xbox Series consoles, Xbox PC, the cloud, Steam, and PlayStation 5. Stay tuned next year. So ROG Ally and Microsoft/Xbox are working together to create an Xbox branded ROG Ally handheld to support Xbox games from Game Pass and their Microsoft Store. The ROG Ally X and then the standard ROG Ally. Now one is shaded white while the other one is shaded black, and I believe the white version of the handheld that'll be considered the budget handheld version of this handheld, and the black one is more like the powerful elite version. I will revisit this family of handhelds at a different time, not so much on this video, but this handheld will be powered by AMD with a good amount of storage space, and those will be coming this holiday season. So it comes as much surprise, at least to me, that Super Meat Boy has made its grand return, but this time it's not a side-scrolling pixel art game. This looks to be a full 3D platforming game this time. They showed off multiple vistas in this presentation for Super Meat Boy, and this is Super Meat Boy 3D. From the look of this game, it looks wildly fun, very violent, very funny. We're going to get a lot of laughs playing this game. I'm looking forward to it. I love the original. Yes, let's bring this game back. It's coming day one in the Game Pass, early 2026. Stay tuned for next year when this game debuts. So we get a second look at Koei Tecmo's Ninja Gaiden 4 for all major consoles. This is showing a little bit more of this game's gameplay, which we already know how Ninja Gaiden plays. If you played through Ninja Gaiden 2, you know pretty much what to expect for Ninja Gaiden games, including this one, Ninja Gaiden 4. Not much to say other than it's going to be a bloody good time, very violent, very fast paced, lots of parrying, lots of attacking. It's Ninja Gaiden. There's nothing more to be said about this game. It's Ninja Gaiden 4. Comes out this fall. It arrives October 21st of this year, day one into Xbox Game Pass for Xbox consoles, the PC, the cloud, Steam, and PlayStation 5. This next trailer put a smile on my face for the simple reason that I absolutely adored my journey of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Well, Bethesda was oh so kind to come to this showcase and present the next upcoming expanded story of the Great Circle. And what we can tell is going to be a nice sizable expansion from the main campaign for the Great Circle. So you loved it from before, you are going to love it again even more. So Indiana Jones comes out with this expansion September the 4th of this year. Now, it should come to no surprise at all. I was waiting for this game to arrive, and I am so glad that we got a second broad look what is to be inXile's Clockwork Revolution for the Xbox. Now, this trailer shows a very extensive look as to the game's major characters that line this game. There are too many to name off in this one overview, but once you see this trailer, you're going to see there's quite a bit of characters to run into. I was under the impression when we first saw this that you're only going to be playing one female character. Apparently, you can actually customize if you want to be a male or female of this game. So that's one thing I think a lot of people will appreciate. You don't have to be pigeonholed to just one female character if you don't want to play her. You can customize to whatever character you like that person to be. But this trailer shows us an extensive look at just the cutscenes and mixed in with a little bit of gameplay. Not too much gameplay was shown off. It was mostly cutscenes, but the gameplay that we did see will show branching storylines from what we could tell, along with a character-controlled time manipulation. That could be a very cool feature for this game. And more likely, there's going to be multiple endings for this type of game, so hold on tight for this one. Clockwork Revolution has no set release date, but my guess is between in this year and 2027. Comes day one in the Game Pass, no doubt, along with PC, Xbox Cloud, Steam, but no mention of PlayStation 5 for right now. So stay tuned. It may be a time exclusive, or it might not. We'll find out in all due time. Now, once again, Obsidian, I don't know how you guys do this. I just don't know. I'd really like to know how big your team could possibly be working on 3 games to be released in 1 year. Clearly, you guys are going to need a big vacation after this year. But to our big surprise, Obsidian once again has come to the stage and presented us with a first-hand look of Grounded 2. From what I remember, the first Grounded was a game preview game years ago. What was that, 2019? Maybe 2020? That might have been 2020 or 2021 as far as Grounded. But here we are about 4 or 5 years later with Grounded 2. They were working on the full release of Grounded, which came out just a few years ago. And here we are with Grounded 2. And Grounded 2, from what you can see, is more Grounded. That's an absolute awesome thing. I love Grounded. I had to finish that game. But Grounded 2 was being worked on in conjunction with Avowed and Outer Worlds 2. Wow, I mean, I tip my hat off to Obsidian. You guys are rock stars in this industry, and once again you are showing us a solid quality product. This game looks tremendously fun. We're going to get a lot of laughs, and you know the fear factor with those spiders are going to once again be at a all-time high when you're facing off this monstrous titan of a 8-legged creature freak that's right in front of you, and you hope like hell that you have everything that you got at it to put it down. Otherwise, you will be its next victim and its next lunch. Let's all band up together and play this game. Grounded 2 arrives in game preview July 29th of this summer for the Xbox consoles, the PC, Xbox Cloud, and Steam. Don't Nod comes in with their latest title called Aphelion. This kind of made me think of Returnal with another character, another woman. This seems to be a character that crash lands on an ice planet and is fully isolated and is trying to survive the elements and the mysterious creatures that's trying to attack you at any given moment. What we're seeing is a lot of traversal gameplay, not so much fighting ability. You may or may not have weapons with you. They didn't show any type of weapons. If anything, you'll be fighting melee style, but I didn't see any projectile weapons the character can shoot out. But it's definitely going to be a very narrative-driven sci-fi adventure game. Definitely all about isolation, and you may have to face off against certain mysterious creatures throughout the game. We haven't seen any. A lot of it's traversal, a lot of it is platform climbing and traversal that may make you think of Tomb Raider a little bit without any fighting. Aphelion debuts sometime in 2026 and comes day one in the Xbox Game Pass for the Xbox consoles, the PC, Xbox Cloud, Steam, and PS5. And definitely wouldn't be an Xbox showcase without the inclusion of at least one Activision title. And we got the Activision title, so they gave us a second look at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Not much more to say about this game. It's a remake of the previous games from way back in the day. And they showed us a new trailer of what we can expect from this new game debuting this July. Now, the footage that we saw from this trailer was captured on PC, but I can't imagine it looking that much different on consoles compared to PC. But the environments that you're seeing, it's going to give you all the feels of what we had from before. Only looking better, feeling better, playing better, and animating better. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 come out July 11th for all current consoles, including the Nintendo Switch 2. It's gonna be a blast. I guess it comes to no surprise that the Coalition was kind enough to provide us another look to Gears of War Reloaded. What more is there to say other than it's just Gears of War remastered for a brand new audience to now support the PlayStation platform. It now comes fully packed with all the past DLC bells and whistles collected throughout the years. You simply can't go wrong. I might just rebuy this game myself just for the heck of it, but it will also arrive day one into Game Pass Ultimate, so I really won't need to. Gears of War Reloaded arrives day one into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on August the 26th, along with Xbox PC, Xbox Cloud, Steam, and the PlayStation 5. And what do we have here? Square Enix has finally come out to play. Square has finally confirmed that the rumors are real. Final Fantasy VII Intergrade is arriving on Xbox this winter holiday, but along with that, Final Fantasy XVI also arrives on Xbox Series consoles, and it arrives starting right now. So there you go. Square was not lying about their said intentions when they said they were planning to expand their releases through multi-platforms. They really meant it. This release of both Final Fantasies going fully multi-platform only goes to prove that even more that Square Enix is through with being exclusive to just one singular platform. Their past days of accepting exclusive deals to develop just for one platform looks to be over, and done. And that's only good news for all of us gamers. Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy XVI are finally coming to the Xbox consoles. All I can say is once they arrive, show these games the love that they deserve. Now, I've been waiting for years since finishing Psychonauts 2 to hear so much of a blurb coming out of Double Fine Studios on their next game title. Finally, the wait is finally over. Double Fine has provided a first-hand look at their next title, and it's called Keeper. This game looks just as unique and quirky as one would come to expect from a Double Fine game production. From the look of it, Keeper appears to be one of your standard platform games, only starring players controlling what appears to be a living lighthouse with legs, sort of like crab legs or insect legs, kind of hard to tell. We don't know too much about this game's story outside of taking control of a living lighthouse who traverses through multiple environments. I don't know much at all about the game's enemies. I do not recall seeing any enemies on screen during this trailer, but this would not be a Double Fine game without someone or something to fight to the death. I'm very excited to play this game. It kind of reminds me of a Tim Burton production and feel, only that it's slightly more colorful, kind of how I felt about Psychonauts 2 as well. Whatever the case may be, I'm going to be playing this game come day 1, October the 17th, this fall through Game Pass. So we come to our final world premiere, our final game of this showcase. When I was taking a look at the main character of this trailer, the first thing that came to mind was, am I looking at a game from Remedy Games? Because watching the first few seconds of the trailer gave me very strong Quantum Break vibes. I thought what I was seeing was a first-hand look of what appears to be Quantum Break 2. And even though this would not have been the same character from the first game, it looked and felt a lot like the exact same type of environment we would come to expect from a Remedy game. But this trailer only ended up breaking my heart ever so slightly. For this was not a Remedy game. This was actually Activision's first-hand look at a cinematic trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops 7. And I don't know what to think of what I'm seeing here. Has Call of Duty Black Ops turned sci-fi all of a sudden? What is this that we're seeing here? The trailer is showing what looks to be environmental shifting and manipulation. The very sort of thing that Quantum Break or even Christian Nolan's Inception movie would be showcasing. I don't know what to make heads or tails of this trailer. It definitely is shifting towards more sci-fi than military shooter from the visuals we're witnessing here. No set release date for Black Ops 7, but I'm going to assume that it's still this fall, but we'll find out soon enough. And there you have it. That'll be all from this showcase. Overall, we've seen a very nice, broad view of games we already knew from before, along with a sprinkle of fresh new titles that we're just now learning about. One question to ask, is this show better than last year's? Personally for me, that is a resounding no. Last year's showcase was just so good, it was just simply incredibly hard to top that in just 1 year. But for this show, if I was going to rate this show between an A being excellent and E being terrible, in my honest opinion, unbiased opinion, this show I would rank between a B- and a B+. I rank this show this rating simply because of some set titles that were missing and I was really hoping to catch a second glimpse of. I wasn't expecting anything such as Fable though. I wasn't expecting Fable to make its grand return a third time. I believe that would have been a third time. However, There was no Perfect Dark, there was no State of Decay 3, and there was no Everwild. But for the titles that they did provide us today, this was a solid showcase that I can take home and be happy with. Compared to other showcases from the past week, this was a clear home run, but it doesn't top last year's unveilings. Outside of seeing Resident Evil 9's trailer this year, no other show I've seen so far tops this one, so I do tip my hat off to Microsoft and Xbox for giving us such a good show. Microsoft and Xbox came to play and they once again brought their A game. But was this as good as last year's showcase? No. But was it a solid show? Absolutely. Was it better than most shows from the past week? I'm gonna have to say yes. But did this show blow anybody away? I'm gonna have to say no. This was just a solid, rounded showcase for me. Outside of the confirmed announcement with them partnering with Rogue Ally for an Xbox branded Rogue Ally handheld console, there were no other major bombs that I can think of. There were no other major bombs dropped like last year, but that's okay. It can take years to make a solid arsenal like the one we're witnessing now. I absolutely love what we've seen from Clockwork Revolution, and I can't wait to get my hands on High on Life 2. That was probably one of my favorite games overall from this showcase was High on Life 2. Very excited to see that, and that was a big surprise for me. I'll be there day one playing both these games once they're both released. I mean, looking at next year seems to be incredible. Next year's lineup of games to be released seems to be incredibly strong for Xbox and their fans. Just the first 6 months of 2025 alone were insane. And the later half of this year looks to be just as good, but 2026 looks to be a year unlike any other year for Xbox. We're looking to expect major heavy-hitting bangers surrounding the release of Grand Theft Auto 6, and that's one game to stay clear of. But it doesn't look like the Xbox is backing down. They're standing strong with their influx of multi-plat titles that will reach everywhere, starting from Game Pass, and that's their true weapon to fear. My backlog isn't getting any shorter. I'm doing everything I can to tackle it, and it's just not getting any smaller. But you know what? That's the fun part of it. It's a euphoric pleasure to have more games than time to play them. This way, one can truly cherish the select few that you have in your current rotation, like myself. But from the team over at Xbox, I gotta say, you guys did it yet again. I thank you. We all thank you. There's now no denying it. Our Xboxes will be playing everywhere we wish them to be, and that's all right with me. And with that being said, I am Musical Weapon. Come back again. We'll do this again.